What's up, guys? Tony Angers here with another tip for managing conflict and aggression. And today I wanted to share with you just a tip for managing yourself in conflict situations. Because one of the real problems is it's all very well to have a bunch of strategies. So I can talk to you about different communication strategies for managing someone else, the best way to phrase sentences and things like that, which we'll get to eventually. But before we do that, you've got to be able to manage yourself. And I've released a vlog on that quite a while ago. So if you check out my past posts, you'll see one called You First. And it really has to do with, if you're in a conflict situation, you've got to deal with yourself first before you deal with them. One of the things I didn't do was expand upon how you do that. So let's just touch on that briefly. The first thing you've got to do is recognize what's going on inside of you. So if we're getting heated, for example, if you're becoming agitated or frustrated or angry, it's going to provide you with signals. It's going to provide you with physiological signals and psychological signals. You're going to get hot thoughts, what's called hot thoughts. And hot thoughts are simply those that keep you hot, keep you in the game, keep you interested in the conflict. And so they're things like, in your mind, what an idiot, listen to this guy or girl or whoever it is. Listen to what they're saying. They're just stupid. I don't have to put up with this. How dare they talk to me like that? They're so wrong. Why can't they see it? They're just stupid. Any of these hot thoughts. I feel like punching them. Be careful of those. So hot thoughts are damaging. And as much as possible, first of all, identify them and potentially eradicate them. So what you've got to do then is start using calming or cooling thoughts. And some people will advocate affirmations as part of a meditation protocol. So if you're a person that likes to meditate, then think about some of these active meditation affirmations, such as, I'm happy to listen to somebody else's point of view. You see, nothing in there says I'm going to agree with it, but the simple fact that I'm happy to listen to what someone else says means that I'm not going to automatically engage in conflict, even if they disagree with me, even if they put me down in some way, if they insult me. It has nothing to do with me. And again, I've talked about that in my vlog on self-respect, that your behavior towards me has nothing to do with me. That has to do with you. And if you're badly behaved towards me, that has to do with how much you like you, not how much you like me. So, cooling thoughts such as everybody has information to share, or I'm happy to learn, I'm happy to listen and learn. Things, a thought process that says, I don't know everything, I know I don't. And even the biggest fool has something to offer. These are cooling, calming thoughts, and should be the type of thoughts that pervade your thinking in conflict situations. You should also be aware of physiological changes. If you're getting heated, for whatever reason, the agitation, frustration, anxiety, anger is building up, where does that start for you? Try and identify as early as you can in that process. So is it in the pit of your stomach? Is it in your chest? Is it in your neck? Is it in your jaw? Is it in your hands? Is it behind your eyes? Is it in your head? Where physically does it change for you? If we can identify it very quickly, then we get a chance to do something about it early, before it manifests as frustration or manifests as anger, and before it starts to do some damage. So the idea is to try and put the fuse out, not let it go off. And I'm sure you'll agree that makes perfect sense. So the next thing you want to think about then is, if you find yourself in a situation where you've identified you've got hot thoughts and you've identified that you've got physiological changes in association with that change towards anger, which we would typically just call escalating emotions, then you might want to retreat from that situation. Now, there's a couple of ways of doing this. In the early stages, when you're a novice at this, I call it white belt stage, which obviously has a correlation with martial arts. When you're a white belt at self-management, then what's a good idea is to say, okay, just give me a moment here, or give me a minute, or give me 5 minutes, or whatever you say, and then you exit the situation. So you're going to walk away from that situation, physically leave. Now, when's the best time to practice this? At home. Practice at home, because your loved ones will forgive you any mistakes and fumbles, hopefully. But they can even help you along the way. And once you get good at that, you can take it back to work. Later on, as you become a black belt in this, so you develop a good, healthy amount of emotional control, you won't need to exit physically. You can do that emotionally. So what happens is you feel that build-up of hot thoughts, you feel that emotion building, you feel the physiological changes within the pit of your stomach or wherever it starts, and you withdraw yourself emotionally. In other words, you have already taught yourself not to buy into this conflict, not to buy into the emotion, not to feel, not to allow the ego to run rampant, and not to be driven by emotion. Okay, so you can train yourself to do that. And when you're a black belt at doing that, you just withdraw emotionally, but you stay physically, and you continue to engage the other party. So when you're a novice and you decide you've identified some escalating emotion, some hot thoughts, and you decide to get out of there briefly, what I want you to do is walk away, find a spot, sit down, and relax your body. And this is crucial, because people will tell you, well, you should go and, talk to yourself and calm yourself down. I don't want you to do that. I want you to relax your body. So how do you do that? Well, there are many meditation protocols and procedures that I like. But all I want you to do, if you imagine this really simple, sit on the chair with your feet flat on the floor in front of you. Rest the backs of your hands on your knees, so your palms are facing up. Take a deep breath and think about your toes. Are they relaxed in your shoes? Do they feel good? Wiggle them a little bit and breathe and help them relax. Relax the arches of your feet. Relax your heels. Good on you guys. Thanks for joining in. I'm going to continue. I'm sure that won't disturb you too much. So, continue up the body. Relax your ankles, relax your shins, relax your calves and your back of your knees and your knees. Relax your thighs, hamstrings, relax your glutes, relax your hips, relax your lower abdomen, relax your chest, relax your shoulders, your arms, down to your fingertips. Relax your face, your forehead, your eyebrows, relax your jaw, relax your mouth. Breathe through that process. Take a couple of minutes. 2 minutes is nothing. Once you've done all that and you've concentrated on all those body parts, I think you'll find that when you then reflect, which is the next stage, so we've done recognize hot thoughts and physiological changes, retreat, relax. So there's your 3 so far. The 4th R in the sequence, the 4th R, is reflect. And you're going to reflect on the disagreement, the conflict, the aggression that you've just been party to. Now, the nice thing about having relaxed already is that it won't feel the same. You've gotten rid of those physiological feelings about this situation. You've gotten rid of that heat and that tension within your frame. And so that's a good thing. And typically what happens then is when you start to think about that situation again, you'll think much more calmly and you'll come up with better strategies for how to manage it. So you reflect on those things. And what are you going to reflect on? The fact that you would like some sort of change, but you would like to maintain that relationship as well. So how do you go about that? How do you ask for change or create change whilst maintaining that relationship? And then you return to the situation and you ask to continue the conversation if it's okay. You ask to make a point, or you go back and apologise. You've calmed yourself down enough to know that you probably weren't at your best. So you go back and you say, listen, I just wanted to say sorry about what I said earlier. I don't know where my head was at, but I was overly emotional. It wasn't your fault. And I just wanted to let you know I feel bad about that and I apologise. Conflict beautifully managed. Ego under control and the relationship managed as well. So this person now continues to be a healthy relationship with you, in a healthy relationship. You continue to be in a healthy relationship with them. So these 5 R's are a nifty little way of managing conflict situations and managing ourselves so that when we go into a conflict situation, we are at least appropriately behaved. And that's what matters in the early stages. If you're going to manage yourself first, it's a good idea to know how. Rightio. Well, as you can see, it's a crazy good day out here. Crazy, crazy good day. And so I've come for a walk to one of my favourite areas, University Hill, just near home. And I'm going to enjoy the rest of my walk. You guys be good to each other. If you've enjoyed what I've said, hit like, click share, subscribe to the channel, chat with me about what we want to talk about, include your thoughts. I'm really keen, and thank you for those that have shared thoughts with me. And I look forward to chatting with you again soon. Take care, guys. Ciao for now.